In this video, I am going to show you a step-by-step guide to make compost at home, using kitchen waste. And at the end we will also talk a little about some tips to fasten up the process of composting. So keep watching and don't forget to subscribe. Compost is the decomposed organic material that plants can use as a source of nutrients. First, organic matter decomposes by the microbes and turns into an absorbable form that is called as compost. And we can use the waste of our kitchen to decompose and make compost out of it. Using compost on plants have a lot of benefits, like more consistent growth, more flowering, less leaf problems and so on. The process of composting takes time depending on the type of organic matter you are trying to decompose. So first of all, it is important to know what type of matter should we use. Your compost will be high in nutrients on the base of kitchen waste you are going to decompose. For example, the green vegetable scraps have more nitrogen, while banana peels are high in potassium and phosphorus. So it will be better if we use a mix of these peels. It helps to make a nutrients-enriched compost. To make compost at home, you can use banana peels, green vegetable peels, onion peels, eggshells and so on. Just make sure you aren't adding things like cooked items, seeds, bakery product, bones and meat, because they take much long to decompose. To make compost, first you will need a good size basket or container, with some holes at the bottom. Take some pieces of paper and spread it at the base of your composting bin. Now add a thin layer of compost. We are using it because it have bacteria and other microbes that are going to drive the whole process. You can also add a layer of soil, because it also have the required microbes in it. Now add a layer of your kitchen waste. It will be better if you cut them into smaller pieces. Again, add some soil or compost. You can also add some dry leaves. This way add multiple layers on top of one another. This helps in faster decomposition. After adding all, now it's time to water a little. Moisture is very important, so keeps on adding moisture whenever your medium looks a little dry. You can place this composting bin in a warm and dark area, like in a shade. You can also cover this container, or leave it as it is. After around 10 days, our composting looks like this. The material had settled down a little, but it is normal. And add a layer of material again, if you have. At this time, you will find some liquid at the base of your container, that is the compost tea, and can be used to feed plants as well. A complete guide on compost tea fertilizer is added in the description box. You can check out that. After around 4 to 5 weeks, the compost will be ready to use. To make sure it's ready, you can lose some part and check it out if it's fully decomposed. Decomposition doesn't work evenly, that's why you can stain this compost and get the ultra-fine quality of compost. This filtered form of compost absorbs faster in the roots. Now you can apply this homemade compost on any type of your plant. It works just amazing to keep the growth of smaller seedlings constant. A detailed video on the benefits of compost is also linked in the description box. You can check out that too. This homemade compost works much better than the market-bought compost, so it will be worthy if we make our own compost at home. Finally, let's talk about some critical factors on which the rate of composting depends. First is the aeration system. If the oxygen keeps on getting in your compost pile, the decomposition goes much faster. So here you can shuffle your organic waste time to time, or you can use a container with lots of holes in it. Other thing is the heat and temperature. Composting goes much faster if the environment is warm. So it will be better if you choose a warmer spot to make compost. The level of moisture in your composting pile is also very important to speed up the composting process. The bacteria and microbes that decomposes the organic matter likes to be in a dark area, away from light. So make sure you are covering the container or making composting in a shade. To fasten up the composting process, you can also add bacteria, like we added compost and soil. The composting process also depends upon the pH levels of your pile. Too much acidic mixture can slow down the decomposition process. Here you can make sure you are not using things like citrus waste and tea waste so much. In the same way, things like neem leaves, garlic and peppers also inhibits the bacterial growth. So you should avoid them as well. Speed of composting depends very much on the type of organic matter you are going to decompose, so make sure of that. Follow up these instructions and everything goes just perfect. So it's all about making compost. For buying a ready-to-use compost, check out a link in the description box. And don't forget to check out this video on benefits of using compost for plants.